little finish and bottling video. It's a small batch. It's been raining all day. It's been a battle, but I've got about 15 gallons I boiled up, and I'm just going to put it away. And sometimes it's easier to do a small batch and you're trying to explain the process, but essentially what you do when you gather all the sap, you just put it in a pan, okay? Now there's all different shapes, sizes, whatever, but basically the flatter, the wider, the longer the better, the shallower, so there's more liquid surface area. These are two old stainless steel refrigerator, well this is one, but I have another one. It's a refrigerator pan, and I've used it for years. Stainless steel, works slick. Just keep adding the syrup, adding the syrup, adding the syrup, the sap rather. Basically what you got to bear in mind is 42 gallons of sap makes 1 gallon of syrup. So realistically I can dump 40 gallons of sap into this pan, but at some point I am going to have a gallon, and when that happens it's going to be syrup. So what you do is you just kind of keep adding and adding until you get the feel for it. But the bottom line, this is only about I think 18-20 gallons. It's not even that. It's probably 15 gallons. But what I'm going to do, I should yield about a quart, maybe a little over a quart with it. And I've been boiling it away outside. I brought it in to finish it. It's not quite ready to screen through the filter, but when it is, I'll do that. And then what I'll do is I'll finish it off. But I just kind of wanted to show you kind of the process. This is very simplified. I mean, some of the commercial operations are boiling 1,000 gallons of sap, 500 gallons. And, obviously, my friend Brian has an evaporator, but we're not of that, caliber. So, if you just want to make some out in your backyard and you don't really have any equipment, all you need is a gas stove. Well, and do the boiling outside. And what I use is lobster pots. I'll boil it, in my lobster pot outside and get it down to this, and then I bring it inside. If I did the whole process inside, I'd lose the wallpaper in this case. So, boil it. When you think you got it ready to finish, then you bring it inside, and then you can do your finishing inside in a small quantity. Now this is just for like the homeowner approach. You're not looking to, bottle 1,000 gallons and make money on it. But anyway, and again, this is more for simplicity. So we're going to boil it a little bit longer. It's not quite ready to. We'll touch back on it a little bit. I got a little ways to go before I filter it off. So give it a little more time. Okay, we've gotten it down to. You see those little bubbles floating around? Those are what you call candy bubbles. When you start to see those, that means you're kind of getting close. Still a long way to go. But then you got to start thinking, am I going to filter this? Now, later, whatever. I think I'm going to go ahead and filter it and get it ready for the final finish. So, like I say, you just watch those they look like water spiders jumping around. When you start to see those, it means you're getting sort of a candy base. So, I'm going to go ahead and filter. This is tricky. I would have some help when we go along, because it's just the way I roll. Filter out. A little strain. Yep, that's 212 degrees hot, as you can imagine. Once you see all that black, that's all impurities. That's what we want to get out of there. We don't want to bottle that. That's all rocks and God knows what. Whatever is in syrup is in there. So put it in another one. So now we got it strained off. We're going to boil it in these two pans. and ultimately we're going to end up in one pan before we're done. And at that point, I'll put in my candy thermometer and make sure I don't go over 217 or 219 degrees. I like 217. 219 is absolutely as high as you can go. Here's a good test. You see how much this one's boiling versus that one? That's stainless steel, that's aluminum. Aluminum transfers heat very well. Not that it matters as far as the syrup goes, but that's kind of a tangent, I guess. But anyway, so we're going to boil this down, get it into one pan. When that happens, we're going to stick in the candy thermometer, and we'll get back to you and bring it right to the syrup stage, and then we'll bottle it. Alright, we're down to one pan, as you can see, and we're at about 212 degrees, which is going to stay until it starts to turn to syrup, and will eventually turn to candy if we let it go long enough. So, again, that's down about 15 to 18 gallons of syrup, sap. That's what it's come down to. So we'll just keep going until it's ready to finish. Okay, we are approaching T-minus and countdown. We're up to 215 degrees, which is getting close. At some point, any point, this is going to start to it's going to bubble up and start to go over the pan. At that point, you got to watch your temp. When you hit 217, shut it off. Don't go past 219 because you're going to have major closer to the moment of truth. 216, so we're really close. At any point this is going to just foam up and out of control. Alright, you can see it, you can see that bubbling top. 216. 216 and a half. Okay. We have there. That, my friends, is syrup. Boom, done. That's what all the fuss is about. Liquid gold. That is 18 gallons of sap. So we're going to put it in the bottles. Give it just a little bit, let it settle down. We don't want to go in any less than 180 degrees. But we're going to put it right in the bottles and seal it off and let it sit overnight, and we'll have some bottled syrup. Okay, so we pour our syrup into a vessel, and then we fill our bottles. Now these bottles you can get at a hardware store or maple syrup supply house. You can get them online any way you want, but basically you buy whatever size you want from half pint on up to a gallon, and you fill them with syrup. Once you get your bottles full, you put on the caps. Tighten them up, and they have a little seal inside, so as long as you tighten them reasonably tight, they will seal themselves. As you can see, the little ring pops down around, and you get yourself a sealed bottle of maple syrup. We'll let these things sit all night, and you're done. You get yourself some liquid gold. Well, there you have it, folks. All that work for 6½ pints of maple syrup. They're going to sit there all night, seal themselves up, and there you go. It's that simple. But, you know, again, I have a little bit, I have enough left for a shot, which I'm going to do. You can see why they get a lot of money for this. It's a lot of work. But again, this is the homeowner's approach. So just because you, all you have is a couple of steel pans and a gas stove doesn't mean you can't have some syrup. It's that simple. Boil it down, keep boiling and boiling it. Screen it out. You can use cheesecloth if you can't get a hold of some, some filtering regular maple syrup filters. You can use cheesecloth. You can can it in mason jars. You can just put it in the fridge. That's fine. But there's no reason if you got a maple tree, a couple of maple trees on your property, you can't be enjoying this nectar of the gods. So anyway, I guess this kind of concludes. It doesn't really conclude because they got a lot more work to do. But I just kind of wanted to bring you through the steps of finishing off and bottling. And as I said, this is real backwoods mentality. There's some serious sugar harvesters out there that really put away some syrup. But again, I'm just kind of a shade tree maple syrup guy. So that's how it's done, and no reason you ought to be missing out on it. So all we need now is some pancakes. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but I think I'm going to make some pancakes. Why not?